Hey everyone, it's Ian here from Coastal Drone. So, Ontario just announced it's banning Chinese made drones from government use. And if you fly drones as a hobbyist, a business, or a government employee, you're probably wondering what that means for you. So, first off, I've been in this industry for nearly 16 going on 20 years, and I've trained pilots, navigated aviation law, and watched this technology go from a niche hobby to critical infrastructure. So let me cut through the press release language and tell you what exactly is happening here and what it means for the real world. So, first off, what's happened? On May 20th, just this week, the Ontario government announced it's immediately banning Chinese made drones from highly sensitive OPP or Ontario Provincial Police operations. On top of that, it's stopping all new purchases of Chinese drones across the provincial government, and it's starting a broader phase out of the Chinese hardware already in service, replacing with drones made in Canada or other approved jurisdictions. So, the stated reason: Chinese law may require companies incorporated in China to hand over data to the government, and even potentially if that data is stored outside the country. So Ontario's, of course, saying that that makes Chinese drones a security risk. And this is going to put Ontario in line with what the RCMP, who restricted this nearly 1,000 Chinese drones back in December 25, and of course, the Canadian Armed Forces and the United States FCC, or the Federal Communications Commission, which have all taken similar steps. And so here's my take. I'm a little skeptical with you. I'd say that this is a bit of security theater ongoing. I'll get more into it. The Ontario press release doesn't really cite a single documented incident. There's no breach, there's no confirmed data exfiltration, data leaving our country or leaving the business walls. There's no specific intelligence, it's just a theoretical legal risk. The fact that Chinese law could compel data disclosure. Could, not has, nor actually has done that. So I've spent years helping organizations think through drone risk. And the honest answer that I kind of feel is the data security concern is real in principle, but the way this policy is being rolled out is politically convenient and not technically rigorous. There are steps that can be taken with consumer and enterprise hardware to limit data sharing, and you can essentially air gap your drone operations, especially now that DJI has removed the fly safe geofencing requirements. They used to mean a mandatory internet connection for red zone unlocks. So the deeper issue of this is that DJI, which dominates the market and isn't named once in the press release, by the way, makes hardware that is genuinely years ahead of the current domestic competition, which I'm sorry to say, like I want Canadian market to be better. Canadian and allied nation alternatives do exist, but they cost 2 to 5 times more, and in many cases don't really match the capability. The RCMP estimated replacing its fleet would cost over $30 million. Ontario hasn't published a number as to what their cost will be. The other question is, what will happen to these drones now that they're considered banned? Will they be auctioned off to the public to recover the cost, or will they be destroyed? And how much is this dispensement process going to cost and the reprocurement of replacement hardware? So, what this means for you, if you're a consumer or a hobbyist, nothing really is going to change. This policy is covering government procurement or purchasing. Your DJI Mini is not getting banned. You can still buy it, fly it, and operate under Transport Canada's rules. If you run a commercial drone business, well, now you got to pay a little closer attention. Government contracts could become significantly more complex if you bid on provincial work or inspections or mapping or emergency services support. If we follow suit of the Americans, there's likely to be an aptitude to fly non Chinese hardware. That means capital costs are going to go up. It means retraining. And right now, the approved replacement list doesn't really exist. Canada doesn't have a blue UAS list like the Americans do. They kind of just borrow their homework. The province says it's speaking with manufacturers in the coming weeks. That's not really procurement strategy, that's a press release. So if you work in government or public safety, brace for disruption. The OPP and provincial departments have built real operational capability around this existing hardware. You got wildfire monitoring, bridge inspections, emergency response. Replacing that muscle memory with common hardware And these workflows, they're going to take time and money. And that announcement doesn't really acknowledge that. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't exactly excited about this. So hopefully a structured and timely approach will prevail that isn't costly and rushed in execution. And so the bigger picture about this, what this announcement actually signals and continues to signal and remind us is that drone procurement is not only a financial and a technical decision, but also geopolitical. We're entering an era where what you fly matters just as much as how well you fly it. And honestly, that's not entirely wrong. Supply chain security is a real conversation worth having. I just wish we were having it with a proper transition plan, real cost transparency, and alternatives that are actually ready to deploy instead of a press release that's long on urgency and short on details. So, of course, I'll be tracking how this plays out, just like you and everyone else, and especially when the replacement procurement process goes public. If you want to stay ahead of it, keep subscribed to this email and I'll keep you posted. Have a great weekend, everyone. And thanks again for subscribing to the Coastal Drone weekly email. And if you want to check out our YouTube, it will be back. As you can see, we've changed offices and moved the studio around a little bit, and we're in a little bit of an extended hiatus on that side, but I'm working on it. I'm excited to see what happens this year, and we'll be back on the full YouTube soon enough. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.